Okay. Hey, we're live. Very good. Hey guys, welcome to Manhattan. Today we're going to be doing our live class from here. For those of you watching this later, we're going to be talking about coffee a little bit, and I'll be answering some questions as well. So if you have questions, make sure you join our weekly live classes every Sunday at some time. So I'm going to be looking for a cup of coffee, and as I sort of move toward that, we'll be talking about coffee a little bit. I'm going to talk about some different types of coffee, and if you guys have questions about that, then that's fine too. And Sleepwalker's here, and Lolly Lolly is here, so that's good. What time is it here? It is 2:06 p.m. here in Manhattan, which is where we are today. This is the lower east side. Yeah. Hi. Hey. So if you guys have any questions, get your questions ready. That'll be good. We can talk about any English questions you may have, or pronunciation, or whatever. And I'm going to also be talking a little about different kinds of coffee. Watching from Dammam in Saudi Arabia. Oh, that's cool. So you're in Saudi Arabia, and I'm in New York. And here we are, connected on the internet. Hooray. Okay, so I'm on my way to a place where I think I can find a coffee shop. I'm not 100% sure because I don't live in this part of Manhattan, but I think I can get a cup of coffee if I go this way. And so as I'm walking toward it, I kind of wonder what I should get. You know, maybe you've seen my other video about ordering coffee. Now, that's more about how to order coffee. But I want to talk a little bit about the different kinds of things that we can get when we order coffee, when we're going to a coffee shop. Okay, so the first thing I usually think about is the temperature, right? You can see that I'm wearing a coat, so obviously it's pretty cold. Now, if the weather is a little bit hot, I might have a different decision. Because it's cold, I'm probably going to get something hot. So I'll get a hot drink. If I want to get a cold drink, I won't say a cold drink, probably. I'll say an iced drink. So, when you're in the coffee shop, answering the question that they ask, they'll say hot or iced. You say hot or iced. Today, I'll say hot. Okay, so whatever drink I order, if there's an option for it to be iced or hot, I will answer hot today because it's cold. You can see that from my coat, right? So that's the first thing. You got to decide that. Now, at a coffee shop, there are so many different choices. You can just get hot coffee or coffee. If you say, can I get, which is usually a common way to ask for something, or could I get a coffee, then they're going to give you whatever they have brewed. Now, brewed coffee is made in a coffee maker, a coffee machine, okay? They've brewed it. That is the process of running water through coffee grounds that has a filter, and it comes out in a container, okay? And then they just pour it out into a cup and give it to you. That is hot coffee. That is brewed coffee made in a regular coffee maker. Okay. Oh, there's a Starbucks there. But I don't know if I want to go to Starbucks. I'm not sure. I'm going to look for another place first, and if I can't find the place that I want to go to, then we'll go back to Starbucks, okay? So that's the basic thing, coffee. If it's summertime, they might have iced coffee ready, but otherwise you just get a brewed cup of coffee and then they'll ask you the size. Now, if it's Starbucks, they'll say grande, tall is the small one, tall, grande, and venti. Again, there's another video about all those sizes. If it's another kind of coffee shop, they probably won't say tall, grande, and venti. They'll say small, medium, and large. So you say, I have a hot coffee. Can I get a hot coffee? Can I get a coffee? Could I get a coffee? What size? Medium. Okay. Now, a lot of places, though, don't even have different sizes. They only have one. So they won't give you an option. Could I get a hot coffee? Yeah, here you go. And then they'll tell you the price. That'll be $3.50. Oh, great. Then you can say what kind of payment options there are. You could say, do you take cards? Or can I use Apple Pay, which is something I usually say these days. Can I use Apple Pay? Okay. But when we go to a coffee shop, we're usually not just getting coffee, right? Black coffee. We're usually going to get something called espresso. Now, you'll hear a lot of people say this incorrectly. They'll say espresso. Espresso. Even native English speakers will say, I like espresso. It's wrong, okay? It's wrong. It should be espresso. Espresso, okay? Now, this is an Italian style of coffee, and it's used to make many other drinks. Espresso is used in all kinds of coffee beverages. When you look on the menu in the coffee shop, most of the drinks that you see will be espresso-based drinks. So this big machine, it has handles, it runs water, very hot water, through these things with handles. Hey, it's a complicated machine. You can buy one for about $5,000 if you want. And then the thing that comes out of that is usually a small amount of very, very strong coffee called espresso. Now you could drink it directly, which is called a shot of espresso. If there are 2 shots, then it's called a doppio. Okay? And some people do it. They just say, 2 shots of espresso, or give me a doppio. And then they drink it very quickly and it's gone. Very strong, very bitter. I like it. But if you want to drink it for a while, right? Most people want to, when they have a coffee drink, they want to drink it for a while, right? Not just 2 seconds. So they'll order something with espresso in it, but not only espresso. Espresso is the coffee part of the drink, right? But there are other ingredients. The one that I usually like to get, Americano. Americano is espresso and water. Latte is milk. You get different kinds of milk, like almond milk and oat milk, coconut milk, plus espresso, plus foam, which is very light milk on top, made with the wand or the steamer that's part of the espresso machine. Get a mocha. Mocha has chocolate milk, chocolate syrup at the bottom, milk, and espresso. Sometimes there's whipped cream on top. And you could get a cappuccino, which is basically a latte, except it has more foam, so more of the light milk on top. That's the only difference, okay? And there are so many more. But just know that when you order one of those types of drinks, what you're getting is an espresso drink. You get the regular coffee that's not espresso. You get an Americano or a cappuccino or a latte that has espresso in it. Now there are a couple other options sometimes you'll see. You'll see what's called a French press. French press, sometimes. And I have a French press at home. It's just a little container made of glass, and it has a stick with a plunger at the bottom, and you push it down, and it makes very strong coffee. That's very good. Sometimes you'll see, but it's just regular coffee, right? Just regular coffee. Sometimes you'll see a pour over. That's where they have a cone that's a filter over on top of the cup that is sort of waiting for the coffee to be poured into it. Then you pour hot water directly into the coffee grounds and it drips down into the cup directly. That's called a pour over. And there are lots of different ways to make coffee, but hopefully you get the idea about when you go to a coffee shop, the different types of things that you'll see. Now, of course, there are lots of other drinks, different kinds of teas, specialty drinks, but most of the things you'll see are espresso based. If you see something crazy like in the autumn, there's a specialty drink that people get called a pumpkin spice latte at Starbucks. It's a Starbucks drink. Well, that's just It's just a latte. That's all it is. The only difference is it has, I think, some syrup on top, and inside it has flavoring, pumpkin spice flavored sugar syrup at the bottom, and it's stirred in, and it's disgusting in my opinion, but a lot of people like it. Okay, so that's how it goes. That's how it works. And I still haven't found the coffee shop yet. I still haven't found where I'm going to go, the coffee shop I want to go to. But, oh, wait a second. Maybe I have. Ah, what is this place? Ice cream. Okay, so they do, it's not a coffee shop, but they do have coffee. Cold brew, latte mocha. Americano. Yes, and they have ice cream too, other things, sundaes, not coffee. This is an ice cream shop. Cool. I'm just gonna order here. Missed any questions? Demsey, hello. Shout out from KSA. Regards. From Peru. Georgia's here. Espresso coffee is the best in my opinion. I agree. You love cappuccinos. Lolly loves cappuccinos. Very interesting. I'm waiting in line. Oh no, guys. I can't wait. They're making ice cream, and it's gonna take forever. So it's not just coffee. You know, when you go to a coffee shop, they have coffee drinks, just coffee drinks. And so it's very fast, you know, making the coffee drinks. But they're making ice cream, and that's gonna take a long time, and I don't wanna wait that long, unfortunately. So anyway, we've talked about the different types of drinks, and whenever I do see a coffee shop, I'm going to go there, I'm going to go inside, I'm going to order, and I'm going to get a coffee, my first coffee of the day. I mean, I'm excited for that. Lolly says she likes cappuccinos. I like cappuccinos too. I don't get them very often because it's a lot of milk. I generally go for the Americano, generally. Oh, by the way, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. I would appreciate that. That would be fantastic. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe and check out my videos as well if you haven't. We have over 300 videos for you to check out if you haven't done that. So make sure you do. And I'm going to go through some of the comments and questions I may have missed. Let's see. Do you like chocolate, says Sleepwalker? I do like chocolate. Although I don't usually have chocolate in my coffee drinks. I like chocolate by itself, but chocolate in a coffee drink, not so much. Not so much. Instead of cafe, you can say cafe latte, Lolly, but you can also just say latte.
Wait. You were going to say it's fun?
Okay, I think I missed one question. Lolly says, please, what's the difference between error, mistake, and fault? That's a good one. Oh, thanks, Lolly. I appreciate that. Thanks for hitting the like button, guys. 1,000 thank yous. So, error, mistake, and fault. Error, mistake, and fault. Well, we can say that error and mistake mean the same thing, okay? Error and mistake have the same basic meaning. It is a thing that happened, not as it was supposed to happen, and often this happens randomly, okay? Or for an unclear reason, or maybe because in some cases someone wasn't paying attention. Now we use the word error for maybe technical things. For example, we might say a computer error. Computer error. An error is something that happens technically. An error is something that happens with an electronic thing, right? So that's an error. We could say that my computer made a mistake. Generally, we don't. So we use the word mistake then to talk about things that make choices and maybe making the wrong choices. So for example, if for some reason my computer makes an error and shuts down, there's an error, your computer shut down, we're not saying that, hey, wait, computer, why did you decide to do that? What's wrong with you? Like the computer was thinking, maybe I should shut down. No, it just did that unintentionally, or something went wrong, something happened, right? The computer wasn't thinking anything about anything. It just happened, okay? Now, I might do the same thing if I make an error. If someone says, hey, what's 6 times 6? And I say, oh, that's 38. No, it's not 38, right? That's the wrong answer. So I say, oh, that was an error. I made a mathematical error, okay? So that, in the same way as a computer is me doing something the wrong way, it's unclear why it happened, something in my brain went wrong, and the answer came out the wrong way. It was an error. We don't often talk about big life things as errors. We don't say, I made a major life error, right? Or I made a huge error when I decided to break up with my girlfriend. Now I regret it. Sometimes people will say that, but often instead we'll use the word mistake. So mistake, although it has basically the same meaning, is more often used to talk about choices that we make that we feel are incorrect, wrong. For example, you break up with a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and then not long after that, you regret it. So you would say, I made such a huge mistake. I can't believe I made this mistake, okay? So we wouldn't use mistake when we talk about something with a computer. We wouldn't use mistake when we talk about numbers and technical stuff. We would use error if someone is doing their accounting, right, in their books, trying to maybe track how much money they're spending, and something is wrong. That's an error. You could call it a mistake, but generally we'll use error. Same for a computer. Okay. The mistake is when we chose it, we thought it was right, but it turned out to be wrong, and we believe it was a mistake. Sometimes we think something is a mistake, and it's not, because for mistakes, it's often hard to judge. Was it right? Was it wrong? Because if 6 times 6 is 38, we can say that is an error. Clearly, no way to say that it's not, right? It's just the wrong answer. But if we say it was a mistake to break up with your girlfriend or boyfriend, maybe 3 months later, you thought that was a mistake, but 6 months later, you realized it was the right thing. So it's often hard to evaluate, hard to judge. Now, fault is when we place blame on others who we feel have made mistakes or have done something wrong or have made a choice that is somehow bad. So if you did it and you made a mistake and that had a negative effect on me, I'll say, oh, this is your fault, obviously. I'm blaming you. You are at fault. This is your fault. Okay? Okay, and if I want to take the blame on myself, I'm sorry, guys. I know I got up late, and that's why we're late for our flight. I'm so sorry I got up late. It's my fault. It's my fault. Okay? So fault is when we assign responsibility to the person who caused often problems for others. That's when we use the word fault. So I hope that's clear. Is that clear, Lolly? Does that make sense? We're next to the Apple Store. Maybe I can go. I don't know if they'll stop me from going into the Apple Store, but let's go into the Apple Store for a minute. They shouldn't stop me. I'm using an Apple phone to shoot this, so. This is the Apple Store in Soho. It's pretty cool. See some Apple Watches. I like this white one. This is the white Apple Watch. Mine is the regular metal one. This is the one I have. Just the regular metal one, but I like the white color. This is really nice. This one's cool. Yes, I'm still here. Let's see, how much is the white one? Get started. Get started. Case. Give me ceramic. Ah, yes. There we go. I'm done. How much is it? Oh my God. That one is 1,300. Wow. Expensive. Expensive.
Thank you.
I wanted to find coffee. Why am I in the Apple store? I do want to just quickly, guys, I came here for a reason. I want to check out the AirPods. I don't know if you know, but recently the new AirPod headphones came out, and I have the old ones. I'm not planning to buy them today, but I have the old AirPods, and I want to check out the new ones just to see how big they are and if I might eventually want to buy them. I mean, not today, but I just want to check them out. If that's okay with you guys, where are they though? Maybe upstairs? Let's go upstairs. It's a nice Apple store. Ah, yes, I think I see them. Okay. Oh yeah, here. AirPods Pro. But they don't have any outside to look at. They just have them in the box. I mean, they look like the same size as the regular ones. I don't know. They don't have any out for display. Huh. That's weird. They just have them in the boxes. Oh well. All right, guys. I need to get some coffee. Gotta find some coffee, or I'm gonna die. Let's go out of here. Let's get out of here. Maybe go this way. Actually, I really like the AirPod earbuds because they're really comfortable and they're easy to carry around. And yeah, I like them. Cool hats.
Let everyone know that.
You can't start working without coffee. I feel the same way. I feel exactly the same way. I just don't want to go to Starbucks unless I have to, you know. I'd like to go somewhere else if possible. So guys, again, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and if you are interested in maybe learning more seriously, check out my courses. They're in the links in the description of this video and all of my videos. I am going to be releasing a new course next week. Should be in the middle of next week, maybe Thursday. And I'm very excited about it because I've been working on it for about 4 months. actually filming and editing. I've been working on it for a very long time, and it's going to be, I think, my best course so far, and it's certainly the longest one so far. So it's going to be about 15 hours of video, 15 hours of actual lessons in the course, covering a really wide range of different things, from how to book a hotel to learning how to use different verb tenses and descriptions, how to understand data and information and talk about that. So many different things. And so I'm really excited to launch that course, and I will have if you guys are interested, a discount for you guys, my YouTube viewers. I'll have a discount just for you guys that you can use to sign up if you're interested. Although you can check out my current courses. I have 10 courses available now, so you're welcome to check those out. Hey, there's a cupcake shop. I just want a coffee shop, and I don't want a cupcake shop. I don't want an ice cream shop. I want a coffee shop, okay? We're in Manhattan. It shouldn't be that hard to find one just walking around. I mean, this is crazy. Let me do a quick, just give me a second. Give me 1 second. Can you make a video about idioms, because they're very important? Another one of my courses is about idioms. It covers over 250 idioms, so you can check those out too. We have talked about idioms in some of the live classes, but mainly I would recommend the courses. If you really want to learn idioms, check out the 4 courses about American English slang, and they're all about idioms, common expressions that native English speakers use, and they cover over 28 hours in 4 courses and over 250 expressions explored very deeply. You think the opposite, drinking coffee is dangerous for your health? Well, some people say that, although I've done quite a bit of research about the health effects of coffee, and from what I've read, and I've really tried to read quite a lot about it, there are a lot of health benefits to drinking coffee, and I can't find any serious scientific studies that show the negative things about drinking coffee. So actually, as far as I can tell, drinking coffee is healthy. And I would encourage anyone who has other information that disagrees with that to share it with me so that I can continue my research, because I would like to find a final answer. But as far as I can tell, coffee is really good for you. You can't drink 10 cups a day, but generally speaking, it's good for you. All right, I need to do a search. I'm just going to search on my watch here. Just give me a sec. Coffee shops. The result. Urban backyard. Lulu Coffee. 0.3 miles. 0.3 miles. Lulu Coffee. Closed today. Starbucks. About Coffee. Okay, there we go. About Coffee. Closing at 3 p.m. Oh, it closes in 30 minutes. Wow. Okay. Takes 6 minutes to walk there. Let's choose that. Getting directions. Okay. Yes, let's do it. And where do I go now? Let's go straight, I guess. Am I going the right way? Yeah. Going the right way, I think. Okay, cool. We're on the way. Now I'm actually following some directions, so that's good. Oh, it's nice. Usually it's good to be able to have it on my watch here so it can point me the right way so that I don't need to use my phone to do it. That's very good. All right, so guys, again, if you have any questions about culture, about coffee, what we've been talking about today, or whatever else, now's the time to ask. I'm going to just walk along and enjoy the nice cool weather. Sorry, thank you. Excuse me. Some people do think it's a little strange to see a guy with a selfie stick and a cell phone taking a video, but I've been doing this for quite a long time, actually, so I'm kind of used to it, and it's not really weird to me. I'm very comfortable walking around in this city with a phone in front of my face. No problem. No problem. It says it's a 6-minute walk. Oh, by the way, the reason I'm here is because my wife is getting her haircut. So I'm kind of just waiting for her to finish her haircut. So I thought I would do a live class while she's doing that. Why not? Still the right way? Yeah. Oh, we're almost there, I think. I think we're almost there. Yeah, a couple more streets. A couple more. This is sort of, I think I know why there aren't so many, they don't seem to be so many coffee shops around here, is because it's kind of a shopping area, you know? A lot of clothing stores and shoe stores. Fewer restaurants than you would normally see. Most neighborhoods have tons of restaurants and coffee shops. Here, yeah, you see one here and there, but not nearly as frequent as other parts of the city. The guy selling his art. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Over there is the Empire State Building. Over there is the south. You can see that's World Trade Center 1. That building there is the okay. I think it's the next street, actually. I think. No, 2 more streets and then turn left. Very good. I've been to Lennox Coffee Shop. That was really good. Lennox. How much does it cost for a haircut in New York? That's a good question. A haircut in New York, I think it depends on your it depends on where you are, and I think it also depends on your gender. So when I go get a haircut, and I also, by the way, have a video about this, you can check that out. It costs me, the actual haircut itself costs $12. Okay, but I also will leave a tip, usually for $3, and so the total haircut is $15, which I think is very inexpensive. It's at a local barber shop. If you're interested in seeing that, I actually did a video about getting a haircut, including showing the haircut itself. But that's because I'm a man, and my haircut is pretty simple. But if you get a haircut around here, and you're a lady, and you get a complicated haircut like my wife does, it's a very different story, right? My watch is telling me to turn left here. And so I think the haircut itself is something like 70 or 80. And then the tip is something like 20 or 30. So I think, and I could be wrong, but I think that my wife pays around $100 every time she has to get a haircut. So that's the difference between us, right? I spend $15, including the tip, and my wife spends $100, including the tip. So I don't know what that tells you, but last time you were at the barber was 1995. Nicola, why don't you go to the barber? Do you cut your own hair? Or sometimes I try to cut my own hair, but I don't do very well. Do you have to tip always? Yeah, you always have to tip. You always have to tip when you get a haircut. Oh, see, being bald is very simple. Being bald, you just maybe trim the sides a little bit, and then you're good, right? So you're very lucky, Nicola, to be bald. Congratulations. I hope I can be bald someday. It makes life easier. Okay, this should be here. Where is it? Oh, it's a little ways ahead. We're almost there, guys. Oh, I can't wait. I think I might have missed a couple questions. How much does our hey, go to Eater. What is Eater? What is Eater? I'm not familiar. Does decaf coffee make any difference? I think so decaf coffee is regular coffee, but just the way that it's been prepared, they do it differently. So they soak the beans in, I believe it's a kind of acid, and it takes out the caffeine of the beans. And then when you look at decaf beans, they're often more dry, whereas regular coffee beans will be quite oily. Decaf beans will be usually quite dry. And there is a difference in the taste, obviously. There's some difference in the taste. But there's a lot of decaf coffee out there that tastes pretty good, that I like. But I don't usually drink decaf coffee because I like the effects of coffee. I like feeling energetic and, having caffeine in my system. All right, here we are, guys. Here it is, about coffee. We're going in. It's time to go in. I better hurry because they close it in 20 minutes. Very good. Very small coffee shop.
Large latte, oatmeal.
Okay, is there a menu? Hello. Could I get an Americano?
Yeah.
Can I get do you only have one size?
Yes.
Oh.
It's 2 shots.
It's 2 shots, but how many ounces?
12.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I use Apple Pay? Okay. The sizes. It's the machine. You guys close at 3? Is that just a Sunday thing? Or, yeah.
We're usually open 7 to 7.
Okay. Thank you. Have a good one. All right. Good. So I've got it. That place closes at 3 only on Sundays. I don't know if you heard the question I asked. I said, you close at 3, right? So if you want to confirm information, you just add right to the end. You close at 3, right? And she said, yes. And I said, is that only a Sunday thing? That means, is that only on Sunday? Only on Sunday? Because it would be strange if they closed at 3 every day of the week, right? And she said, yes, only on Sunday. We're usually open from 7 to 7. 7 to 7. So that means from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. So they are open from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Sunday, and then all of the other days of the week, they are open from 7 to 7. Now this is my coffee. It's an Americano. I don't know if you heard, I said, could I get or could I have an Americano? And she said, sure. Now she didn't ask me the size, but I said, do you have different sizes? Or does that, what did I say? Does that only come in one size? And she said, yes. And I said, how many ounces? Ounces is what we use to measure cups. I don't know if this has ounces on it. This doesn't have any ounce markings. But we use ounces. Lolly Lolly, could you write that out for me? O-U-N-C-E-S. O-U-N-C-E-S. Ounces. And we use that to mark how big it is. So this is, I believe, a 12 ounce. And 16 ounces, a little bigger. And then I think there's the 20 ounce. If they had a 20 ounce Americano, I'd get it. But they only have it in one size. And she confirmed, she said 2 shots. That has 2 shots. So what does 2 shots means? Well, 2 shots is about how much espresso there is. So when you have that big machine that I showed you, it makes, every time it has 2 little things on each side, and it pours the coffee out into 2 glasses, shot glasses. Each one of those is called a shot. And so some drinks may only have 1 shot, 1 glass of that little, very strong cup of coffee, espresso. But most coffee drinks will have 2 or 3 shots. So this Americano, in this case, the only size they have, has 2 shots of espresso. So this is espresso and water, and that's what it is. If I were at Starbucks, then I would say either a tall espresso, or a tall Americano, grande Americano, and venti Americano. If you want to know more about the sizes and stuff, you can check out my other coffee video, the other coffee video on my channel. Drinking a cup of coffee is an ounce of common sense. How do you guys know each other? How does Gertie know Lolly Lolly? And how do you know to call her Gertie instead of something else? I must know. I'm very curious. Oh my goodness. That is very tasty. Very good. So delicious. I kind of want to find a place just to sit down and enjoy my coffee. That's what I want to do. There are a lot of cool shops here. There's a modern Tibet. That's very interesting. This is a shop. Oh, I better cross the street before I get hit by that car. This shop is called... Yes, but how do you know her nickname? That's my question. How do you know that? How do you know each other? Modern Tibet. Have Tibetan jewelry, statues, Buddhist statues, clothing. Cool. Interesting. You can see that here this is closed. A lot of little shops are. Well, this one's open. Here's a hair salon. We're cutting hair. That's cool. Very cool. It looks like some places are closed just because it's Sunday. It's Sunday. Kind of quiet. Yes, Gertrude, I remember you, but I don't think I remember the nickname Gertie. Maybe you told me, but I forgot. Did you tell me? Did you tell me that your nickname is Gertie and I just don't remember? Or... Yeah, I mean, I know who you are, of course. But why do I not remember Gertie? Maybe my memory is bad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's I blame the hunger. Okay, I haven't eaten anything yet today. I still have not eaten. Oh, she told me. Okay, well, then it's my fault, okay? Lolly Lolly has a great memory, remembers that Gertrude's nickname is Gertie, and now I'm embarrassed to not know and not have remembered, and I apologize 1,000 times. But I will remember from now on, for sure. I will not forget, I promise. I'm not very good with names. Not very good with names, but I'll try my best. You told me 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, guys, see that building there? Very famous building. That building, you can look it up on the internet, that is the Empire State Building. Probably the most famous building in New York City. The Empire State Building. If you've seen the old King Kong movie, you would have seen that building in it. It's the one that King Kong climbs up and is killed on by airplanes at the end. I would like to live in this neighborhood. This is a cool neighborhood. It's kind of quiet. It's not too busy, right? Not too crowded, but a lot of things to do. Yes, Empire. Instead of PH, it's EMPIRE, Empire. Yeah. Yeah. I've never actually been inside. I've been inside the building, but I've never gone up to the top. A lot of tourist things in New York I've never done. I've never been to the Statue of Liberty. Never. I've never been to the top of the Empire State Building. Yeah, whatever. You name it. I've never done it. I try to do more real things, interesting things. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button, please. I'm desperate for likes. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you haven't already and you're curious and you want to improve your English faster, then check out my courses in the links in the description. You can check them out on either Udemy or Skillshare. If you do it on Skillshare, you can get 2 months for free if you click on my link. It's a pretty good deal, actually. Skillshare is very cool. You can get access to as many courses as you want for one single monthly price, which is a good deal. So I think I'm very near my wife's haircut place. I'm just going to stay here. Just going to stay right here. I feel that this has been very successful. I've got my coffee. That's what I really wanted anyway. I'm happy. It's an icon of New York City. Yes, Gertie, it is. It is. Milton says, is Trump Tower near you? No, it's not. So, I don't know if you guys want to look up the location of where I am. If you're near the internet and you've got Google open, or Google Maps, you can search Soho, S-O-H-O. I am in Soho. So this is actually in the south of Manhattan. New York City has 5 boroughs. The 5 boroughs are Manhattan, Queens, which is where I live, Brooklyn, the Bronx, and Staten Island. And that makes up New York City. In Manhattan, most of what you see often in movies is, for example, the Empire State Building is in Midtown, which is between 50th Street and 30th Street, something like that. I'm in Lower Manhattan, getting close to Chinatown, actually. I'm not far from Chinatown. And that's why we saw the World Trade Center building. And, in 2001, on September 11th, the Trade Center was hit by airplanes, then the buildings fell down. That's that location, and they have built up a new building. It's called World Trade Center 1. Trump Tower is on 5th Avenue and 50... I forget which intersection. It's on 5th Avenue and something. It might be 46 or 45th. I forget. Anyway, that's where Trump Tower is. So we're pretty far from there. We're around 4th Street. So it's far away. Usually there are a bunch of people outside Trump Tower on the day, every day, and they're always shouting and protesting. Even though he's not there, he doesn't live there. He's living in the White House at the moment, but people still do that. Cute dog. Gertie, everyone is. It's easy to be envious of anyone else, based on where they are. So, you probably live in a place I would be envious of. You probably live in a place that I wanna visit. It tends to be wherever you are is where you don't really want to be, and wherever you want to be is not where you are. That's a common thing, right? But I don't live in Manhattan. I live in Queens. As far as I know, Mr. Trump doesn't live in the White House. No, he does. He lives in the White House, in Washington, D.C. That's where he lives. He has another residence. He has Trump Tower, and he has another residence, I think, in Florida, which is called Mar-a-Lago. But he does spend most of his time in the White House. I think he has to, because he's the president. It's probably his worst house.
And so Melanie's coming to visit.
Because it's actually not that nice inside. It's a very old house. Then they've renovated it many times, but it's still very old. Impeachment is coming. That's hard to say. Many people have always said that's happening, but it's unclear that whether that will happen or not. Impeachment, if you guys don't know, is the process of trying to remove a president from office. But it's much more complicated than just saying, "Oh, you're fired." It's much more of a process that you have to have many what are called hearings, where people come and they testify or they speak about whatever issue it is, and so many things. And I think it's almost impossible that he will be impeached or removed from office. Pretty much impossible. I don't think it will happen. Do I like Trump's politics? They're not my favorite. No, I'm not a big Trump fan. I'm in the best place to live in the. Oh, really? You live in the Caribbean? That is very nice. Where specifically? That's great. So I'm envious of you. That's awesome. It's probably not as cold there as it is here. It's pretty cold here. It's something like 35 degrees maybe here, Fahrenheit. So I'm not sure what that is in Celsius, but it's pretty cold. But it's not so cold that I need a hat, right? Well, I don't know, Gertie. That's not necessarily true, because there are so many people that do like Trump's politics. I was recently having a conversation with my aunt, and she's a very big fan of Donald Trump. She loves Donald Trump and everything that he does. She's such a huge fan, and to her, everything that he does is golden and wonderful. So I kind of think he's stupid and makes a lot of mistakes and only cares about his ego and what's good for him. I don't think he actually cares about America or American people or anybody else other than himself. That's my opinion. But a lot of people disagree with that, and they think that he's great and awesome and wonderful and fantastic and perfect, and that he poops gold. So people have different views, I suppose, and that's okay. It is good to live in a democracy. Yeah, I agree with that. I think it is good to live in a democracy. You can say what you want to say. You can vote for people. You can not vote for people if you don't like them. Yeah, it's good. We recently had an election here in New York, and we got to vote on some very interesting things, including what's called rank choice voting, where instead of just voting this person or this person or this person or this person, you get to choose your favorites from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a new way to vote. And so New York may start doing this soon. So instead of saying, I'm going to vote for one, which is normally how you do it, you say, okay, number 3 is my favorite, number 5 is my second favorite, number 4 is my third favorite, and number 1 is my fourth favorite, like that. And then obviously that's going to change the results of the election quite a bit, right? So I think that's pretty interesting. That's an interesting way to do voting, and it seems like that would be a better way to vote if people can choose based on their top 5. And then you can get a real picture of who's the best person for the job. And so I like that. I think that's very cool. I think that's awesome. So that's a new thing that New York State might start doing very soon. I hope so. I hope so. Waiting for my wife to call. Do you think that Trump is a racist? Yeah, I do. I do. It's hard to disagree with that. There's so many examples. I mean, the classic one is he said that other countries he called whole countries shithole countries. And if you do that, basically you're saying that the whole country is bad. One thing that bothers me, though, is leaving the Paris Climate Agreement. So there's something called the Paris Climate Accord, which is an environmental agreement that many nations have joined to help to improve the environment and reduce the human effect, the effect that humans have on the environment in a negative way. And he is making America leave that agreement. And so that means that coal producers and energy companies won't have to try to change their behavior to improve the environment in any way. So that's not helpful. I think that's not. I don't like that. I'm very against that. I guess you disagree with Trump's P. I'm not sure what P means, but there are things that I think are kind of interesting about Trump. I like that he isn't afraid to say his opinion. I like someone who's boring is, he's always in the news, and so I think he causes people to really examine what they really believe. So I think there are some things about Trump that I like. I always laugh when I read his tweets on Twitter. If you want some comedy every day, you can follow him on Twitter. It's quite funny. Trump says the unemployment rate is the lowest in American history. Yeah. And it depends on how you measure the unemployment rate, though. There are different ways to measure it. So it's easy to measure it as the lowest. And then you also have to ask, okay, but what kind of jobs are there? Because inflation has gone up, right? So things are more expensive, but these salaries have not. And so you find a lot of people who are working 2 jobs, sometimes 3 jobs to survive, to live, because one job doesn't pay them enough. So they have to get more jobs just to pay their rent and feed their children. So the other question would be then, what kind of jobs are they? And that would be another question. Luke, when Mushroom calls you back, put it on loudspeaker. Let's see how you deal with her. Okay, I'll try. I think I'll try to answer it on my watch so that I don't have to close the live class. And we'll see what happens. Ooh, that's a cool scooter. I want to get one of those scooters. I like it. Check this out. These are getting really popular now. These scooters are very cool. I like it. I want one. I want 2. I want 10. Ah, cool. Easy to get around. I mean, if you don't want to take the subway and you live 20 minutes from your job, it might be convenient. Trump is not a racist, he is a classist. Could that be? If you do not have money or benefits, you do not exist. Yeah, maybe. Wow, this live stream is getting a little political, guys. This is supposed to be about English, all right? But yes, that's a good point. It could be because he's a billionaire, that he sees the world as a billionaire sees the world, and so someone who is a single mom trying to take care of 2 kids and who has 2 jobs, you may not fully understand the struggles of that lady, right? So it's a good point. And that would be a class issue, not a race issue. It's a good point. But you could be a classicist and a racist at the same time. There's no reason it has to be one or the other. No reason it has to be one or the other. Coffee's already getting cold. But it's not so cold that I have to wear a hat. I feel pretty comfortable without a hat. So that's the perfect weather in my opinion. This weather is my favorite weather. It's cold, but it's not freezing. I have to wear a coat to stay warm, but I don't have to wear a hat and I don't have to wear gloves. And I can walk around comfortably. That's perfect, in my opinion. Perfect. Yes, Hanyu. Well, guys, I'm sure it's boring just sitting here watching me drink coffee, so we might have to call it a day. But again, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. It's been cool to have you guys along. We'll do this next Saturday. I don't know. What do you guys think of me instead of being in my house doing that, going out somewhere? What do you think about that? Do you prefer that, or does it not matter, or both, or what? Let me know what you prefer, and I can, I can do whatever. If you want to just go along, as if I'm going to do something and you want to just come along and ask questions along the way, that's cool too. If you haven't already, I would appreciate it if you guys hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe, of course, so that you can see my weekly videos. And there's also the Facebook group. You can join the Facebook group. You can search Cloud English in Facebook. You can join the group. And you don't want it confined. Do it outside. All right, well, I'll do more outside then. Oh, yeah, and check out the courses. Of course, check out the courses. So Milton said it's 10 degrees if he calculates for Celsius. Wow, you guys prefer outside, not inside. Okay, boring inside. Got it. Noted. Let me see the weather thing. Just a second. Okay, so actually it's 50 degrees. That's not that cold. So how do I change it to Celsius? Hold on. How do I I don't know. Can someone help me calculate 50 degrees Fahrenheit into Celsius? And that is the temperature. Most people don't know Celsius because Celsius is, I think, only used in the United States. Gertie, do you guys also use Celsius in the Dominican Republic? Is it 20? That seems a little high. Is that right? That doesn't sound right. I think it's like 12 or something. Yeah, I mean, most countries, Sleepwalker, use Celsius, C. We use F in America. And as far as I know, we're the only country that does use F. Don't ask me, guys. You got to search it somewhere. I don't know. I don't know how to change it. So I'm not sure what it is in Celsius. That sounds about right, but I'm not sure. Yes, we could do a pizza one. That's a good idea. Pizza. It's 10. Okay. Okay. Celsius in France. Of course, France uses Celsius. Because Lolly Lolly is from and in France. I like the idea of doing pizza. I like the idea of doing on Sunday, maybe going out somewhere interesting rather than just being in my studio. So we'll do that in the future. Maybe next week we'll go somewhere else. That'll be fun. And maybe I'm thinking about maybe during the week just doing a few more just for other activities if you guys want, but we'll see how it goes. I enjoy it. In the Dominican Republic, it is 24 degrees Celsius right now. Okay, that's pretty warm. That's very warm. Much warmer than here, for sure. For sure. So, wow, it seems everybody likes the outside streams better. All right, guys, fine. We'll do the outside ones. Fair enough. If you like it. And I do need to get something to eat. I'm thinking we'll probably eat Malaysian food today. Canada is -5 degrees C. What? You Canadians, I'll tell you what. Canada is a crazy place. Canada gets really cold in the winter. It's crazy. I mean, I like Canada, but it's cold. I don't think I could live there. It's too cold. You guys love hockey. Canadian ham. I don't know. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go eat some food, some Malaysian food. It's time for Malaysian food. Well, everyone's doing a weather report. A weather report. Everyone's reporting their temperature. 5 degrees in Central Europe. Pretty cold. Seems colder there than it is here. But I think Canada wins. -5 degrees C. That is cold. Do you know pho? Of course. Vietnamese cuisine. Pho is delicious. I love Vietnamese cuisine. It's one of my favorites. I recently ate it though, so I don't think I'm gonna have that one for lunch, just because I ate it so recently. So I think today will be Indonesian. Last weekend I had Mexican food. So I like to eat different things every week. Different cuisines. Maybe next weekend I'll have African cuisine. I like Ethiopian cuisine very much. Delicious. If you haven't had Ethiopian food, it's awesome. Why do Americans measure all things completely differently to other countries like Celsius and Fahrenheit? Left side wheel measure pounds, not kilograms. Well, Milton, that is a great question. I think it's the same reason that we play baseball instead of cricket, and the same reason that we play American football instead of soccer, and the same reason that we, have certain things that are only in America and not in others, right? So America often views itself as a country as a sort of separate from the rest of the world. I'm not saying this is me, just in general, the culture. America only needs America, and that's all we need. And who cares what the rest of the world does? And if the rest of the world uses Celsius and kilograms, I don't care. I think that's part of it. It's very little self-centered as a culture in general. Although American scientists don't do that. If you're an American scientist, you will measure things as the rest of the world measures things, because the center of the world scientifically is in Europe and China, not in the United States. So that's starting to change, I think, and hopefully the United States will change to the what's called metric system, which is kilometers and kilograms and centimeters and Celsius. The metric system makes much more sense. 0 degrees is when water freezes, 100 degrees is when water boils. In America, 32 degrees is when water freezes, and 212 degrees is when water boils. How many feet are in a mile? Well, there are 12 inches in 1 foot. The inch is about that much. There are 12 inches in 1 foot, and if you take 5,280 feet, you will go a mile. So it's a very confusing, complicated system. However, I have to say, I do have a video about this too. I know I've got a video about everything, but I have a video, if you go back into maybe a year ago, I have a video about this exactly, comparing the metric system and the imperial system, and some of the comparisons between the two, so that you can get a sense for how much exactly is a mile, how far that is, how heavy is exactly a pound, right? It's confusing, so check out that video. That video should be interesting. I actually did some measurements. I measured my cat, so check out that video. If someone wants to share it in the comments, that could be good. That would be, I think, useful, and other people can then watch it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to post it in the Cloud English group. If you guys haven't joined the group, make sure you join the group, the Facebook group. We have a group. I will post the metric video there, okay? And maybe post this stream too. Yeah, I'm hungry, guys. All right. Thanks for all the great questions today. I really appreciate it. Good questions helps, because I don't always have an hour-long topic planned, I plan the coffee topic, but maybe not everything after. So I appreciate the questions. That's good. So we'll do this next time. We'll go out somewhere, and I will see you guys in the live stream next Sunday. And again, hit the like button, subscribe, and check out the courses, and join the group. All right? Have a good rest of the day. See you guys next time.